Okay, next one is Spaceship. Barely since I've given the go-ahead in this weird place will I do it. Gyro one, there is one that is top secret and barely okay for me to talk about, but because we're all okay, we're going. It's pretty amazing. It's not supposed to be, because one direction you go when you go, since it you don't want to, it's not able to do, I mean it's able to do, but it's not able to do functional full, like, I mean it's able to, it's not the one, okay? So I'm not trying to clown it, so, but anywho, one direction is fucked up, okay? If you go, why am I doing that? Alright. If you go up and right, you ain't doing too swell, because the way it's spinning and such a force in a circle that you barely gotta feel like you need to gather yourself if you do it fast. But it's pretty amazing. And A1 is what I just got that it's called. It's pretty cool, actually. Not for mass manufacturing, but yeah, they've been around, but not like the Saturn for fun and stuff in an hour and a half back after going around. Barely, if they wanted, could they go to Saturn. But they've been to the moon so many times, you don't want to know. You can't see it, so don't try. If you saw it go by, you barely can't see it go by, because they always use. Anywho, okay, so this is Spaceship. If you take a Dodge V8 Hemi, and this is with jet fuel, deep well, 350 deep well. The deep well, because light particle fragments actually hit the oil residue. It's fine in the beginning too. Hit the oil residue at like 60 light speed, but they only go down about an eighth. And the more they go down, the more viscosity, and it doesn't go down to damage anything or anything like that. So you take a Viscera Maximus titanium shaft. You take lubricant of any kind. Heavyweight 80 is fine. No, but if they did, yes, they do. Some, they know you can get affected, and they say sorry. That's funny. Anywho, guys, so you take, you have a titanium shaft, lubricant, oil base, like petroleum, and heavyweight's fine, because it should be no Vaseline or nothing. And you take a titanium rod to go in there. It's only a quarter of the quarter space at full, and you but that goes in the middle, but you need the threads, the Viscera Maximus, because it's spinning. It's gonna be spinning. It comes out, Viscera Maximus, you'd find it, it's about a quarter of a foot for the one that we're doing. This is the one that if you had a 2003 vehicle to a 2016 and you trade it in, you're talking 17,000 on credit, and everybody can have one. Inner orbit is, or inside the atmosphere is where, hey, let's go smoke weed, take your speed, and everyone's high. This is there's another one the military can only use, but it's pretty sweet too. If you picture, well, actually this is the jet fuel one. the electric one is the one that is better and equivalent. Don't think it is not all, and better, and military-wise too. Anywho, but since we got jet fuel, I'm gonna do the electric one after if I got time tonight. So the threading on it is special. It has to be an eighth of that. It's an eighth of what it's at now. A special threading tool, but it's able to be. And now that's there. Now, when this thing, so you need the transmission from it, the Dodge also, heavy duty and ultra capability, which means torque max, meaning the last torque needs to be all the way, gear needs to be, fifth needs to be all the way up, and them ratioed. And now you got the engine, you got the transmission, jet fuel ports need to be go back, eviscerator maximus for maximum acceleration. And it's that, the norm one, not anything. The carburetor needs to be Edelbrock for jet fuel, which means a couple of plastic lines so that jet fuel can go in, and jet fuel sprays out there, they'd say, but it really doesn't spray out. It's vapors. It comes out the ports on the passenger. It would be the passenger side, but it's really it's like two wheels in front, one wheel in back, hover, low speed, high speed with a switch, and it's perfect. It could be a car, but it's not a car because people miss 4 tires. I miss 4 tires. I was looking at it saying if you miss cruising around smoking weed, then and it even lines up incorrect. And when that's supposed to be, it's not a car also. And for sure about it. So you got basically this, and barely in the middle is the shaft have a thing where the gears are lined up, where you cut a hole so that it grabs, and since it's threaded, it's going back and forth. And it's actually, when it's going back and forth, now that you're causing it to go back and forth, and you got the transmission hooked up, you have a piece of rubber hooked behind the driver's seat. It needs to be rubber 2, which is rubber because that's rubber 3, rubber 2, which is real rubber, except that much that of the rubber, and it hits it, it pounds on it, but by pounding on it, you can stay still. So on the back you put a flat panel so it can't go out too far. It's only a flat panel because then you steel weld onto so that it doesn't move past there with rubber 3, 2, eviscerator maximus. Fill if you thirds, except one of them is 3/4 eviscerator maximus, and now you've got a stopper for that. And you use a suit cockpit because it's airtight and because you need to be able to breathe. You're fine, so don't think if you went to space or not. If you went on a long trip, you barely would need, well, another thing that needs to be patented, it's not oxygen you use in space, it's nitrogen oxygen, because you die in 2.5 months. It's supposed to be nitrogen oxygen, and that's got it patented too. There was one scenario I was looking at where we got to leave here and and even if we did have spaceships, we all used oxygen, and well, it takes 3 months to get to where we need to go, the closest. And even if we find out and we all die because we were breathing in oxygen and we need nitrogen oxygen. So anyway, you don't need it because it's airtight, that's fine and stuff. So barely the last thing of it, you need a Boeing 731 R2, which is category list, and that is the gyroscope. You one bead weld to the dash at the corner of Vistier Maximus, an eighth, except an eighth of the eighth, and the other to the electronic outputs, splicing, and one bead weld. That, yeah, and basically that's it. That's a jet fuel spaceship afterburner with propulsion on wing for minor stabilization purposes. Air 2 is what it's called. It's nitrogen, oxygen, and they would know. And that's a spaceship, guys, and it is really sweet. I wish I could make it to be the first one up and such. I'm sure you will be, and good for you. Anyway, the next one, even this one's pretty sweet, the electric spaceship. This one is like pride and joy, finding out simplicity of things and how they work. So I'm gonna try to do that one before I go to bed. I miss everybody. Cyru out.